Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. Let's take a look at the chart. Start with the big picture. Just a reminder that it was over 4 weeks ago, actually last Friday, that we closed above the 149.87 one-year channel top that then set up the 2.5-year channel top 176.78. At the time we'd mentioned could be 2 to 3 months, could be 3 to 5 weeks. It was in the 3 to 5 week category. I say was, and I don't mean to say was, so definitively, because we didn't technically test it. We didn't technically push into the 1% zone, but we did last week miss that by, I think, 12 ticks. I forget the exact number, but the high had missed the actual 1% line. If you could imagine kind of a red line underneath here of a 1%. We came very close to testing it, so close, in fact, that I'm beginning to talk as if we can grow overbought now, having quote-unquote met an objective, even though we really haven't at 176.78, and we can. This market's susceptible to falling back roughly to the 149.87 formation again over the next month or two. But we don't have any indication yet that we're going to sell off. I mean, we do have, and I can jump to, this daily chart here. We did have, and still do have, a kind of a soft rising channel bottom that we did break and close just below yesterday. I don't show it anywhere on this chart, but it's the 172.42 level, very tradable for aggressive day traders. But really, in terms of our downward pivot point through the rest of the week, it is now the low of the high because we came so close. I think the formation yesterday, that 172.42, that rising channel bottom up, going by memory here, but it was 171.54, 171.58. We closed at 171.38. I mean, it was a very hardly a violation, and so we made an adjustment for 171.26 just for greater clarity to the downside. The low of the high, if we close below it, it is a sell signal unto itself. I think if we open below 171.26, we could see a downdraft day potentially to 166.92. That wouldn't surprise me. I don't see the setup for it just yet. I will say comfortably if we close below 171.26 today, we should within a day or two test this 3-4 week rising channel bottom at 166.92, which under other circumstances would be considered kind of a 3-star support, able to contain selling into next week, and from here we could round up again. But because we've come so close to testing long-term resistance, 176.78 I'd mentioned is a formation able to contain quarterly buying pressures, possibly through the rest of the year, and we rallied to within a matter of ticks of the 1% zone. In other words, we rallied to within a matter of ticks of essentially considering it an actual test. And so I wouldn't be surprised if over the next week or so we actually do close below 166.92. Nonetheless, I do think 3 to 5 day swing traders, day traders, this is a solid level to buy into. I think we can get a nice bounce on an intraday basis, quite possibly back to the 171.26, the low of the high on an intraday basis. And yes, if we close below 166.92, we actually have our first sell signal on weakness following the near miss of 176.63 on the daily chart. And under that scenario, I would expect 160.06 within another 3 to 5 days. It is stair step right now. I will tell you, as I've said before, that had we outright tested 176.78, had we actually pushed comfortably into that 1% zone, I would begin talking as if 149.87 is an objective you can prepare for. It's just that we missed the mark, and so now we're back to kind of like these 3 to 5 day time frames where if we close below 166.92, you can expect 160.06. The question, obviously, given what I just said, is should I be short right now? I think you can be an aggressive short seller in the mid 170s. That actually begins at 175.02.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
Let's talk upside 175.02, and I'll just mention that as long as we don't close below 171.26 today, 175.02 is right about here in the chart. We're just a day or two away from potentially reaching it. So yeah, we're not far off that mark. 175.02 is the 1% mark below 176.78. It is the beginning of the unload your long positions zone and consider reversing and playing the short side as we move not only through the rest of the week, but also through August trade. From here, we can fall back into the upper 140s again within a month or two. While I'm talking about it, if we were to rally this week into this zone and close Friday at 178.55 or higher, which is the 1% above this line study. Remember, any line studies that are 6 months or greater, I really need that 1% violation to give it sort of a clarifying, more reliable signal. So if we close above 176.78 by the 1% margin of 178.55 on Friday, we enter another significant buy signal that should, over the next 2 to 3 months, yield this 219.64 full swing from that January 153.13 high against the 86.62 April low. The full 100% swing to the upside is 219.64. That becomes a 2 to 3 month target if we close Friday at 178.55 or higher. I don't expect that. I don't know if we're going to see a big sell-off, but I think the beginning of that comes into play with a settlement below 166.92. If you're looking, and I'm just kind of ad-libbing here just a little bit, but if you're looking at playing the 2 to 3, 3 to 5 week sell signal, and we don't reach 176.63, that formation on the daily chart that gives you that the most opportunistic price point to sell into, I think you can play below 166.92. Yes, there will be solid support at 160.06 on the way down. But given the fact that we came so close to testing long-term support, I wouldn't be surprised to see this longer-term channel bottom in the weeks ahead. And I don't have any way of clarifying this, of providing certainty, but I will say after coming so close to reaching this and then closing below 166.92, I think you can set a short. Yes, you could take some profits on the way down, probably should at 160.06, but I think you can keep some of that short position anticipating this 149.87 to 150.09 region in the weeks ahead. And that, I think, becomes a clearer and more likely proposition if we were to close below 166.92. So I think that kind of rounds it out. Today, Tuesday, we'll be putting out a stock pick at wickedstocks.com, another one later in the week. We do 2 every week. We're always looking for 20% moves on those underlying stock picks. Very well suited for the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near-term investor. We support you along the way. Every week we provide updates, the moving targets. Oftentimes they are channel formations like this. We update those numbers. We update our recommended stop loss, et cetera, et cetera. And so check us out at wickedstocks.com. You can see it all for free by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial, in which you'll also get our daily Triple Q, our daily SPY analysis, and our weekly Apple stock analysis. I will be back, of course, tomorrow with Wednesday's NVIDIA report, and you have a great day.